Today we're going to be talking about how bad the job market is, specifically Canada. It's one of the worst unemployment rates in all of the developed nations and all of the G7 nations. It is absolutely on a tear upwards in the opposite direction of where we would like it to be. But is this a sign of a bad economy, or is this a sign of a decaying Canada? We'll find out in today's video as we go over some data and also some reactions to some TikTok videos with some interesting information, also some reactions from people out there trying to find a job and realizing how bad the job market is here. Canada's unemployment as of right now is 6.80%, could rise even further after those Trump tariffs take away even more jobs, which could happen. Hopefully those get reversed, but we will see what the future holds, and we're going to be doing a lot more of these videos, believe me, because unemployment I don't think is going to be going down anytime soon. In fact, it was actually around 5.6 to 5.7% right before the pandemic, and then skyrocketed to 13% in April, then went even higher in May at 13.40%, and ever since then, as more and more people started going back to work, it went down to a pretty low point. Honestly, a decent rate of 4.80%. That's not horrible. I mean, it's still not great, but in the States, that is around average. And that was July 22nd. And ever since then, it's been on the rise. And right now, it's sitting at 6.80% unemployment, which is brutal. Now, there is places in Canada that have higher unemployment rate than the national average, like places like Windsor. I think it's close to 9% unemployment rate. That's almost unthinkable for a city of that size. Now, it's not a big city, but it still has a decent population mass. So to see that is brutal. And now we're going to take a look at some interesting TikTok videos talking about Canada's awful economy.
Guys, this is breaking news. Canada's unemployment rate soars to the highest levels in 8 years. In Toronto right now, there's 400,000 unemployed people. So let me get this straight. You brought in 2.5 million people, right, to take on the extra workload, pay them absolutely nothing, slave wages, right, giving them the opportunity of having a dream of becoming a Canadian, where they can have a family, a home, you know, the Canadian dream. That's why people are dying to come to Canada. And what's left? They've joined gangs, the women into prostitution rings, getting trafficked all throughout Canada. That's what's happened. That's what's happened. Their families back home from wherever they came from, scraped, saved, just to make sure that their kid can have a great job, survive, own something, and their family can come to. And I'm not just talking about East Indians. I'm talking about people from Mexico. I'm talking about people from Argentina. I'm talking about people from South Korea, obviously India, China, right? Ukraine, right? Poland. There's a lot of people coming from other countries other than India. A lot of people that are from India, they got scammed to come here, by the way. Their parents paid a fortune for them to come here because our laws were so relaxed. And now these kids are living in hell. I feel so sorry for a lot of these families, because these families' parents saved decades to hopefully their kids can come to Canada or the United States and make something great, because it was easy to do so at one point. Now it's not. Now it's like, good luck. People that are born and raised here can't even fucking have a family, have kids. We have the worst birth rate ever recorded in history. Tell me what you guys think.
Yeah, and the birth rates are really low, just like Japan and just like other developed nations. Birth rates are on the decline. That's a real crisis. And then we also have Canada doing a good, PR job trying to get people to come to Canada, but then they don't know what they're walking into. They're walking into a bad unemployment rate. They're walking into a housing crisis. They're walking into inflation. They're walking into so many horrible things that they weren't told when they actually signed up to come to Canada. And a lot of people spend a fortune to get their kids to come here. It's absolutely devastating. And here's another video. And that's for just a basic warehouse job. That lineup, it looks like a Taylor Swift concert. This is insane. This is basically how bad it is to find like just a minimum wage job. People are that desperate that are going to wait out in the cold. And during the wintertime, it gets really cold in Canada. So that is brutal to be able to put yourself through that just for like a crappy really bad, probably part-time minimum wage job. Just goes to show how bad the job market is.
Toronto's job market is officially dead. Check this out. Unemployment in Toronto is starting to surge to the highest level seen since during the pandemic. In fact, Toronto now has over 317,000 unemployed people, which is more than the entire province of Quebec. If we take a look at how full-time jobs have been affected over the past year, we've basically lost a bunch of finance, information, and surprisingly, construction jobs, and gained a bunch of jobs in transportation and warehousing. Some people are saying that this is the worst job market that they've ever seen, including this case manager who works at an employment center. Others have been looking for months and applying to thousands of jobs and getting little to no interviews. So what areas should you look at if you're looking for a job? Well, the rest of Southern Ontario is not doing much better than Toronto. However, Vancouver and Montreal actually have unemployment that is much lower than the national average. Do you guys think it's time to leave Toronto for better job opportunities? Let me know.
Yeah, and Southern Ontario in general, just brutal unemployment rate. Like, as I was telling you earlier in the video, Windsor has something like 8 to 9% unemployment rate. It might even be higher than that at this point. And that is a place that's been devastated before. You know, a lot of industries have left there. You know, it's right across from Detroit, and we all know what happened to Detroit when all those jobs left there. So we're seeing, you know, we've saw similar things happen to Windsor. Geez, it's just brutal. Here's another video.
Please, Canada, please start hiring again. Do something. I can't keep spending all day on Indeed and all day handing out resumes and all day calling people and all day emailing people for no response.
And honestly, I feel his frustration there. I gave up on even looking for a job. I got laid off about a year and a half ago, and then I just went fully into self-employment. I do little things here and there. I'll actually resell things on the side. I have a few YouTube channels as well, so I have other ways of making revenue. And I honestly, if you guys haven't tried self-employment, try it. The job market is brutal right now. Think about the amount of time that your guys are killing to try to find some of these jobs, and we're going to get deeper into that in another video, but it's just absolutely insane out there. Canada is just not the country it used to be. It's not as fruitful as it used to be, and a lot of the biggest cities in Canada that should offer the most jobs have almost nothing to offer at this point for people who are living in Canada. It is really sad state that we're in right now. And if you guys are watching, I hope you got at least a little bit of entertainment out of this video. I know it's a pretty depressing topic, but I feel like it was a topic that really needed to be addressed considering how important it is for the country. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. I do videos every single day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.